Good morning lovelies, ZoëTwoDots here with some more Pokemon Go goodness for you. And today I'm going to be teaching you how to take some pretty amazing photos in Go Snapshot. So welcome to my backyard for our little backyard snapshot photo session, a little bit of a tutorial. I'm going to take you through the steps for the basics and a few advanced techniques for getting a really supreme shot in Go Snapshot, whether that be in AR Plus or regular AR, so both of these different forms of AR that you'll have on your phone depending on its model, all fall under the umbrella of Niantic AR. Firstly, and probably most importantly, is to talk about the difference between the two. So depending on your phone model, your AR will either look like this or like this. The key difference between the two is in the standard AR, and this is one that you can enable or disable if your phone has the capability, is that for this one your Pokemon is kind of locked in place. Essentially your Pokemon will always be in the center, facing forward and looking at you, locked within the frame of the phone and the frame of the camera. No matter how close you walk towards it or how far you walk away from it, you'll always be kind of just having this same locked in perspective. If your phone has AR Plus and is capable of doing this, it'll look like this. When you activate Niantic AR, you'll be able to walk up closer to your Pokemon, walk further away from your Pokemon, you can look above it, below it, around it, any sort of 3D space. You could, walk several meters the other way. You could try and get stupidly close to it and, say, how's it going, buddy? How's it going in there? But that is the main difference between the two. Now, at face value, maybe this one doesn't look, maybe it doesn't look as great to you, but you can take amazing photos in both. The trick is knowing how to use both to their advantages. Firstly, one major advantage of the standard AR is that the Pokemon is locked in place. And this is fantastic for flying Pokemon. Because this Pokemon is locked in place, all you gotta do, look up at the sky. If you want to get a really nice sky shot of a flying Pokemon, easy peasy. And this photo mode works both in portrait and landscape as well, so if you have really big Pokemon such as Lugia, like what we have here, I can look up at the sky, tap on its tummy to make it animate, and fit this wonderful Pokemon right in frame. The reason I think this version is better for flying types most of the time is because with AR Plus and the more enhanced version of AR, you do actually need to consider the space that you're in. So first of all, you need to find a nice bit on the ground to place your Pokemon, or maybe on a table or a bench, but you still need a space to place it. From there, if it's a big Pokemon like Lugia, you're going to need to back it right up, and this might not be, the case. If you want to take a photo of this inside your house, it's probably not going to fit. Or even some places, maybe if you're on a nice scenic outlook, it might not be possible to get a good photo of Lugia like this. You just might not have the space to do it. Additionally, in this AR version, you're going to need to get down on the ground to get these upwards angles and get these really cool shots. Don't get me wrong, you can still take fantastic photos of flying in both. I just find that with the standard AR, tilt up to the sky. Happy days. Another great benefit of the standard AR as well is because the Pokemon is fixed in place, you can really mess with scale and perspective to be as big as a house, or would you like to be as teeny tiny so as to fit in the palm of your hand? Because it is fixed in place, you can have a lot of fun with perspective, especially in, tight, cramped areas, like maybe taking photos in the home, in the lounge room, in the kitchen, whatever it might be. You can really play around with that space and get some cool perspective on your shots. This is also really handy as well for outdoors when you have a lot of space and you want to make a Pokemon look really big. You can just walk closer to the object you would like to photograph it closer to. The main point being play around with size, placement and scale rather than just taking it out and slapping out a picture. You can really have some fun with this mode. Now, a really cool thing you can do in the more complex AR version is a lot of angles, or you're shooting from down low up high or up high down low. Because the Pokemon itself is kind of stuck to a spot on the ground or maybe onto the bench or the table, you can get that full 3D view, meaning that you can get underneath the Pokemon, above the Pokemon, and take some really cool and unique angle photos of these Pokemon. Genuinely, the biggest difference between a photo like this and a photo like this is just the angles. This is the same camera, same phone, same Pokemon, but by taking the care and consideration to rotate your Pokemon, align it differently, make a bit of a visual story. Is the Wurmple just sitting on a leaf in the tree, or is it trying to get some tasty fruit? One cool way to mess with placement and the facing of your Pokemon is to place it where you'd like it in the space, and then if you'd like it to face a different direction, you can walk around the Pokemon, and while looking at it, pat up and down, and this will get the Pokemon to spin and face you. From there, maybe you still don't want the Pokemon looking at the camera, looking at you directly. You can then walk back around to the desired photo location, so the Pokemon is now looking away from you. You can also do this when you set up the photo, in that if you know you want to be photographing the back of the Pokemon, set it up kind of opposite to what you would just slap it out as, and then walk around and position yourself where you would like to be. Who's that Pokemon? Another Another very fun thing that we can do is to play with shadows. Similar to how I can make a little shadow puppet with my hand here, I can play and take photographs of the Pokemon's specific shadows. Now in basic AR, all the Pokemon pretty much just have a coloured in, circle shadow, oval shadow underneath them. But in AR Plus, you can take full detailed, like very accurate photos of the Pokemon's shadows. This can make for a very fun game of Who's That Pokemon. Perhaps you want to run a little competition in your local community and group, play a game of Who's That Pokemon and submit your Shadowmon photos. Again, this is another one you can get pretty creative with and just kind of like have fun and explore all the different animations and angles you can take with this as well. One cool thing that can absolutely be used in both versions as well is props. Props like these here, use a Pokeball, maybe you have some plushies or some Pokemon cards, whatever it might be. But props can be used to enhance your photo and make it seem, more realistic, more come to life. You can blend that augmented reality. Using props and real life elements really helps to kind of break down that barrier between digital and the real world. Firstly, I'll show you an example in AR Plus. So when you enter into Go Snapshot here, pick a spot that works the best for your Pokemon. I'm going to be using Caterpie. Once you have it placed somewhere nice, I'm just going to show you what happens here if I try to move the Pokemon, too close to a real life object. No matter where I put this Caterpie, it will appear in the foreground. It is the topmost layer of this photo. No matter what is in it in this mode, it will be the foremost thing. So what you're going to want to consider is that when you place down your prop, that your Pokemon isn't clipping into it or bumping into it and kind of like ruining that effect of it being immersed in the world with this Pokemon. Placing it to the side or angling it in a cheeky way that maybe when the Pokemon animates, it puts that prop in the foreground and your Pokemon in the background, even though technically this Pokemon is always on the front layer. You'll notice here in the grass too that, really detailed elements like grass or leaves and things can sometimes clip with your Pokemon, and it might, remove some of the reality or believability of the photo. So typically smoother and less textured backgrounds and settings and floors can kind of help enhance this look too. Or you might just need to shuffle around where you find a spot where that shadow kind of blends nicely and deceives the eye. You don't really see too many blades of grass getting clipped out by the Pokemon itself. Don't forget to tap your Pokemon or give it a little pat to animate as well. Again, just play with angles until you find what works for you. Additionally, in standard AR, you can still take these photos. It's sometimes a little bit trickier, again, depending on the size of the Pokemon, but as long as you give it a red hot go, you will find an angle that works. Again, in this mode, the Pokemon will always be the frontmost and foremost thing, so it might take a little bit more trying and playing around. Perhaps in the horizontal landscape mode, it'll be a bit easier to get a bit of space either side of your Pokemon to fit in bigger props. You might even want to sit your Pokemon on top of a prop, which will work very easily too because it's always kind of floating with your camera. And then because the Pokemon is always facing forward, sometimes the tap to animate adds a little bit of personality and character, like, is that Pokeball trying to catch me? I don't think so, not today. Caterpie is not getting in this ball. Again, no matter what mode you're taking photographs in, these certain, specific elements of them are not limitations. They are little barriers and rules to be broken, little ways to push how far you can take these photos. You're not restricted to, I've only got normal AR, so I can only take this, standard front-on photo. There's a big difference between this and this. These are both taken in regular AR, and again, it all just comes down to playing with angles and levels and perspective and animating that Pokemon and just actually having a go. For this next part, I will need a friend's help as well because you can take photos in shared AR too. With up to 3 people total, you can get 3 Pokemon, 3 buddies into a Go Snapshot photo. Now, one of the coolest parts about this is all 3 trainers can affect, the animation, the direction, the facing, the placement of their individual Pokemon. But all cameras can kind of see what's happening. If a friend is to feed their buddy, you can see through your own camera that buddy being fed, that buddy's reaction to being fed, their reaction to being patted, animating, and all of that. You're not limited just to seeing your own buddy and just, the standard other buddy. This is a very dynamic photo taking session. Again, play around with friends and see what works best for you. You'll definitely have a better time as well on a good, stable Wi-Fi connection. Or a really good, if you've got a good 4G or 5G, winner. Now, once you've got your 2 or 3 buddies placed down and your friends ready to play along as well, it's really up to whatever you'd like to create. Would you like to tell a story between particular species of Pokemon? Would you like to take a family photo of an evolution line? Is it a bit of a Pokemon party and everyone's just having a fantastic time? This is totally up to you and your friends and however you'd like to animate and play and tell a story. You can really create some very fun and interesting matchups and pairs between Pokemon and their interactions with each other as well. Don't forget, this world isn't just for Pokemon either. You're in it too. Maybe it's time for you to jump in with your buddy and have some fun interacting face to face with your buddies, with your friends' buddies, and as a group, as a community together. One top tip I will give, however, for shared AR is going to be practice your little buddy pats and animations. As you pat your buddy on the head, on the tummy, wherever it may be, after a certain amount of time has elapsed, they will animate. So definitely get you and your friends onto a bit of a sync so that you're in time and then your buddies can animate at the same time. Maybe you want them to animate slightly out of sync to get different kind of frames of that photograph. Again, have fun with it, play with it, mess around, get it wrong, get it right. There's no, right or wrong way to have fun and to have a good time. If you want to take this to the next level as well, if you were screen recording on your phone as well, you could take a video and make it even more interactive. Essentially, get in there, practice, try some angles, find what works, find what doesn't work. At the end of the day, once you've laid all these things together, when you've put together placement, angles, perspective, scale, add some props if you feel like it, add yourself, add a friend, add a pet, whatever it might be to your photo element. Once you have a few of these things working together, it's going to really show the difference between a photo that's like this and a photo like this. It's just a few simple things to make more fun and engaging photographs and how to bring your Pokemon into the world with you. Don't forget as well, you can share your photographs through social media, through several hashtags, so you can share them with the community, share them with the world so that we can see what you make too. I hope this video was helpful for you and that you have fun in all the photos that you take going forward. As always, lovelies, thank you so much for watching. If you are new, please be sure to subscribe, and thank you to everyone who did leave a like as well. I hope you are having a wonderful, wonderful morning, noon, night, whatever time it is for you. I'll catch you guys in the next one.